I never thought that my anniversary date with my wife Ashley could have such horrible consequences. Ashley had tried everything the doctor ordered to lose weight. Jogging and push-ups, squats, keto, fasting, even a vegan diet. She felt exhausted, she felt pain, and she felt hungry all the time. But every morning, the scale never went down. Ashley was a prisoner of her own body fat, trapped inside her own body, realizing she's going to be overweight the rest of her life. It got to the point that she was terrified to be seen in public because of her weight. But when I showed her the Broadway Hamilton tickets I bought for our anniversary and the reservation to her favorite restaurant, I finally convinced her to go out. This turned out to be the biggest mistake of my life.
We rode the subway to the restaurant. Felt a little overdressed, but we were having fun. We squeezed into some seats on the crowded subway. Then the girl sitting next to Ashley gave her an annoying look and stood up, suddenly mouthing,
"Watch it, fatso!"
Ashley didn't see it, and I pretended not to notice. The train stopped, and thankfully, it was our stop. Ashley rushed for the subway doors, and she nearly ran into a girl coming in.
"Watch it! I don't want to get run over by Fran the fat reindeer."
This is what the girl told her. I caught up with Ashley on the platform. Before I could say anything, she touched my shoulder. "I don't want to fight that battle today," she said. "Can't we just enjoy the show?" When we got to the show, Ashley acted like a schoolgirl. It was so fun seeing my wife excited. When we got to our seats, neither of us had noticed the disgusted look on the face of the man sitting next to her. When Ashley sat down, this guy groaned.
"Damn, I always get stuck next to the fat
He
ones."
turned to his girlfriend, and in a few seconds, they switched seats. Ashley looked at the girl apologetically. Believe that? She said, "I'm sorry if I made him uncomfortable."
Well, you could stop eating. That might help.
That's what the girlfriend said. Ashley's jaw dropped. The girl shrugged. If this wasn't enough, her boyfriend then shouted at the couple to the left of us.
"When this one goes camping, the bears hide their food."
Ashley turned to me with tears in her eyes. She pretended to laugh it off, but her face looked bright red, and she couldn't hide the pain, the shame that she felt. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, something shocking happened. It's embarrassing for me to share, but God has given me the strength to reveal it. It led me to discover an incredible weight loss shortcut that's been deliberately kept from you. It's a hack. It's so powerful that without a single diet or exercise routine, my wife, Ashley, a 43-year-old mom of 3, melted away 62 pounds of unsightly, stubborn fat from her face, from her belly, from her arms, hips, thighs, all in a matter of weeks, transforming her from looking like this to this. This tropical hack ridded her of the anxiety, the depression, the insecurity that had ruined my wife's mental health. It helped to restore the toned, sexy body that she had in her 20s. Even her skin looked different. It was tighter, it was smoother. It had a new youthful glow. This discovery left her doctor speechless and every overweight woman and man desperate to know her secret. This secret, amazing weight loss solution has helped transform the lives of tens of thousands of men and women all around the world, including me. I woke up 4 pounds lighter after the very first day. And over the weeks that followed, I lost another 37 pounds of ugly fat from my belly, my face, arms, back, revealed toned abs for the first time in 20 years. And it did all of this while I still ate my favorite foods: hamburgers, brownies, ice cream, pizza, spaghetti, donuts. In fact, there's no need to cut out any of the foods that you love. Now, I get that you're skeptical. I completely understand because, as unbelievable as this sounds, losing so much weight so quickly is possible with the safe and simple solution you can use right now in the comfort of your own home. In fact, the simple solution I'm about to share with you is backed by many clinical trials and supported by multiple international scientific studies from organizations like Harvard University, Sao Paulo State University, Johns Hopkins University. It's also based on a groundbreaking new research by a team at the University of Otago, New Zealand, that has identified the real cause of today's obesity crisis. You see, despite what you've been told, how much you diet, starve yourself, or deprive yourself of your favorite food doesn't help you lose weight. How much grueling exercise you do, how much sugar or carbohydrates you cut out doesn't matter. Your thyroid hormones or metabolism or genetics or the aging process, they're irrelevant. Instead, your weight gain has everything to do with a dangerous foreign compound swimming in your bloodstream right now. This foreign compound forces your body to store more and more fat that scientists have found is abundant in every woman and man especially those over 40 years of age who are finding it impossible to lose fat and to keep it off. But fear not, I am about to reveal a simple 5-second tropical hack known only to the inhabitants of a small, sparsely populated Malaysian island 9,200 miles from my home who seem to be immune to that foreign compound. You can quickly target this toxic foreign compound and stop your body from storing excess weight. A truth hidden by the weight loss industry, whose entire business relies on you never losing a single pound, is that weight loss has nothing to do with ab crunches, fasting, counting calories, dieting, or even gastric bypass surgery and extreme cardio routines like CrossFit P90X. Instead, it's just a simple Malaysian 5-second tropical hack used once a day. This tropical hack, passed down from generation to generation by the elders of the island, effortlessly melts away inches from even the most stubborn areas, leaving you not only with a firm, smooth, and toned body, but more importantly, supporting a healthy heart, brain, and joints, and ensuring optimum blood pressure and sugar levels. This 100% safe and natural 5-second ritual that turned my wife's life completely around and gave her back her lean and her sexy and her stress-free body. This is too important to hide. And until now, that's been the problem. This simple tropical hack has been right under our noses and been hidden by the folks we trust to make us better. That's over. In the next 3.5 minutes, I'm going to share with you why everything you thought you knew about belly fat and how to lose it, it's flat out wrong. You'll feel disgusted and shocked when you hear the details from a former weight loss industry doctor who has been a leading voice in the weight loss and diet industry for over 20 years. The doctor breaks his silence and reveals the 3 biggest weight loss lies touted by doctors and fitness experts around the world, and the real reason why every diet or exercise plan may work for a while, but will always fail. I will also reveal the identity of the deadly foreign compound, the real cause of your uncontrolled belly fat, and the clinically proven ancient 5-second tropical hack that you can do tonight to tackle this foreign toxin while you're sleeping. Tonight, you can start burning off stubborn, ugly body fat and support healthy joints, healthy arteries, and good blood sugar levels. I'll show you all the peer-reviewed studies that prove this works. I am so happy you've chosen to watch this video because this will transform your looks, your energy levels, your self-esteem, and ultimately, your life. No matter how long you've been dealing with being overweight, no matter how much you weigh, your age, your gender, what you eat, or when you eat it, your genetics or medical condition, I truly believe that this simple solution will change your life forever, just like it has for so many other Americans. This solution is so effective that it's already worked for over 369,700 people, and this number is steadily increasing.
Hi, Ben. I've gone down 6 dress sizes and lost just over 51 pounds. Feels great to look in the mirror now. I love the new me.
I'm a new person thanks to you, Ben. I lost 47 pounds in just a few weeks. I'm not out of breath anymore from doing the smallest activities. I feel a million times better than I've ever felt before. Thank you.
Being able to wear my favorite jeans after so many years feels fantastic. I lost more than 54 pounds on your tropical ritual and I feel like a completely new woman.
For the first time in my life, I believe in myself and that I'm capable of losing weight. I lost over 43 pounds with Leanotox and my life is totally transformed.
I was a big woman and I found it physically painful to walk or stand for just a few minutes. I lost over 56 pounds and 7 notches off my belt. That's amazing.
Like clockwork, I check my emails every day. I see message after message from people just like them in total shock and excitement after trying out this tropical hack. They're doing it each morning and feeling and looking better than the day before. That's why I'm certain it can work for you too. Imagine, no more worries about people laughing and joking behind your back because of your size. No more stress or depression over what your husband or your wife really thinks about your naked body. No more anxiety about sudden heart attacks or strokes or diabetes. Instead, eat what you want with no guilt or shame. Be active again, traveling and gardening. Your joints will feel good again, your hair will feel thick and strong. And because this tropical hack targets the biological root cause of your belly fat, once the fat's gone, it's gone forever. And you'll start to look younger as the glow and elasticity of youth returns to your skin and body, leaving you happier, healthier, and feeling sexier than you have in years, even decades. And I guarantee that you have never heard about this solution because it's been purposely hidden from you by the multi-billion-dollar weight loss industry. They don't want you to know that there's a quick, easy, and natural way to curb hunger and burn belly fat. The whole weight loss industry is a giant fraud designed just to separate you from your hard-earned money and keep you trying their products, the products that don't work. It's time to cut yourself loose from these chains of being overweight once and for all. But first, let me properly introduce myself. Hello, my name is Ben Peterson. I'm no doctor, I'm no nutritionist, I'm certainly no lecturer at Harvard University. You know who I am? I'm just like you. I'm a real person who once had a weight problem. I'm a 48-year-old high school teacher, and I live with my wife Ashley and our 3 kids in San Diego, California. And my problem started about 20 years ago. I actually always felt that Ashley was out of my league. She ran half marathons and could make anyone laugh. She worked with youth at our church, and she always had parties or dinners at her house. She was life, and when we started dating, I felt people looking at me, the fat guy whose only marathon was watching 6 hours of Netflix shows in a row, and I only made people laugh with my awkward clumsiness. My self-esteem was low, but Ashley made me feel like $1 million. You're my perfect, she would say, and I thank God for you. You know, it didn't seem significant at first. Ashley was running a race when she hurt her ankle. We took her to the doctor and found out she had a small fracture, but resting and taking care of it would get her back to normal again. But normal never came. 2 months later, she was told her fracture had healed, but after trying to go on a run for the first time since the injury, Ashley came home in tears. It's not the same, she said. It still hurts. See, my wife, she loved running. She felt free and alive when she did it, but I saw joy fade away as she stopped running daily, then weekly, then altogether. And being overweight myself, I didn't notice that she had begun to substitute running with unhealthy eating habits. On one of the last runs she did, Ashley came home and she fell on the couch. I made a joke about how she must have gone overboard, but she just waved me off, and she didn't get off the couch for nearly an hour. It didn't hit me how bad it was until one Sunday when we drove home from church. Ashley was quiet, unusually quiet, and since she always had a funny story to tell me about working with the kids, "What's wrong, honey?" I asked, glancing at her, and she didn't answer at first. Then she cleared her throat and looked out the passenger door window. "Caroline Phillips called me fat today." I frowned. 8-year-old Caroline Phillips? Ashley, she's a kid. Kids say dumb things. Ashley shook her head. She wasn't trying to be mean. She just asked if I was pregnant because I had gotten fatter. Her head whipped around as she searched for my answer to her next question. "Ben, have you looked at me lately?" To be honest, I didn't know what to say. I was offended. I was the fat one, and she was complaining about gaining a few pounds. "You aren't fat, Ashley. I am, remember?" At 25 years old, Ashley gave birth to our first child, Thomas. With 22 pounds of pregnancy fat, she did what she always did. She got some carbs, did some Zumba classes, and just like that, it was gone. 2 years later, our next child, Grace, was born, and now 28 pounds heavier, she did the same, and the extra weight was gone. But 8 years later, our third child, Matthew, was born. And after eating for 2 for 9 months, Ashley was 49 pounds overweight. Our doctor warned that her high blood sugar and the fat around her belly and her organs was suffocating her heart. He ordered her to lose 49 pounds or risk a heart attack or a stroke at any second. She thought it would be easy, but at 35 years old, something was different. The pregnancy fat would not disappear, and she struggled to lose even just 5 pounds. And over the next year, she never brought up the subject again. But I saw her try several diets such as keto and Atkins and paleo and vegan and detoxes. We spent thousands on Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem. Heck, we even bought a Peloton bike. But that just made her ankle pain even worse. She became more and more upset, and when a diet failed, she would start stress eating and she would completely shut down. And we tried everything. Sometimes I heard her praying when she didn't think I was around. "God, why are you letting me feel this way?" she whispered. My heart was aching. I didn't know how to help her, but when I looked in the mirror, I only felt that I was the one that should be upset. And then that cycle began. My wife would research a diet and try it, and then get frustrated with the lack of results. But soon it became more than that. She took a work from home position, eliminating the need to ever leave the house. She stopped wanting to hang out with her friends or even go to church, eventually just quitting the youth program. And when we did go to church, she wanted to get there right before the service started, sit in the back, and leave during the prayer. It began to wear on me because I stopped hanging around others too. And I knew that I had to do something to get us out of this situation. And then came our anniversary and the painful experience during the Broadway show. Ashley could not stop crying the entire way home. The next day as I came back from work, I walked through the door and I said, "Ashley, I'm home." And she didn't respond. I walked into the kitchen and then the living room. "Ashley?" Strange, as I thought, I checked my phone and there was no messages, and I ran up the stairs and saw the light on in our bedroom. I said, "Ashley, where are you?" My knees nearly buckled as I saw her lying on the floor beside the bed. Rushing to her, I noticed the pill bottle on the floor next to the empty glass. Ashley! Her face looked pale and her breath was shallow, and I grabbed my phone and I called 911, and the dispatcher walked me through CPR. And the ambulance arrived quickly and took her to the hospital, and I found out later that Ashley should have died. The number of pills plus her weight should have led to severe damage, and the doctor said she would have died if I hadn't come home and given her the CPR. And indeed, she was lucky to be alive. Because if you're overweight, you're 60% or more likely to have a heart attack or a stroke, and 80% more likely to have coronary artery disease, and 22% more likely to get Alzheimer's or memory loss. It's scary, isn't it? As I sat by Ashley's side, holding her cold and shaking hand, and I felt angry and ashamed. Angry at the deceitful weight loss industry, which for over a decade had drained our bank accounts and only made my wife sicker. And ashamed because I promised to take care of her, and I didn't know how. And my heart constricted in my chest at the thought of losing her, and Thomas and Grace and Matthew losing their mom. And that night we prayed to God for a miracle.
Please don't die, Mommy. Please don't go.
And it's been a long road since that night, but if there is one thing that I know, it's that God gave us another chance, and that we're on this journey together, and I vowed to do whatever it takes. I was determined to find a way to help her get healthy again. And that night, I prayed harder than I ever have done before in my life. And what happened next was the most bizarre, eye-opening thing I have ever experienced. Yet it set me on the path to discovering the incredible secret that changed our lives forever. The next morning, I took the day off, and I said goodbye to Ashley and walked into my favorite cafe a few blocks from my home. And the owner's known Ashley and me for years, was a well-mannered and overeducated and overweight 50-year-old named Arthur Fay. And he saw me sitting at my favorite table looking hopeless, and he strolled over and he asked, "What happened to you?" I told him about Ashley's suicide attempt. "Ashley? Why?" he said. "She's such a happy-go-lucky girl. What on earth would make her..." "Let's not get into it," I replied. "She's recovering now. It's her weight, you know." "Can you get me some more coffee, please, Arthur?" Suddenly I noticed how thin and fit Arthur looked as he walked away from the table. He walked back to the table with my coffee and tea for himself, and he sat down. "How'd you lose all that weight?" I asked Arthur, and he said nothing. He took a dropper out of his left pocket and placed a few drops into his tea. I asked, "What's that for?" "Keeps my hunger at bay," he said. Arthur then told me he was considered morbidly obese for years, and he had planned to do gastric bypass surgery. "But what's in the oil? Where'd you get it?" I asked him. Said, "You need to know about Dr. Jeff Sterling. Search for him online." It's a long story, but I met him on a long trip to Malaysia. Jeff is the one who recommended that I take this oil extracted from herbs and plants. And since taking it, I swear that I didn't put on 1 extra gram of fat. On the contrary, since I started taking this baby, I was shedding the pounds so fast it's ridiculous. Arthur told me that if I wanted to meet Dr. Sterling in person, I'd have to travel to a remote Asian island where he currently lives. And that's because Dr. Sterling was over 100 years old. He used to work as a medical advisor for 3 of the biggest weight loss brands in the US before trying to expose the truth. But he was silenced in court by the weight loss brands. Arthur gave me the doctor's home phone number. I promised not to share it with anyone. I phoned Dr. Sterling, and his wife answered, and I told her I was friends with Arthur, and she set up a meeting with her husband. I set off for Malaysia, leaving Ashley's sister in charge of her safety. I bought the earliest ticket I could find. It was a connecting flight from Los Angeles with 2 stops. 43 hours later, I arrived in the capital city, Kuala Lumpur. And from there took another flight to the tiny Malaysian island, Pangkor, where Dr. Sterling was staying. I got there 2 weeks before my scheduled meeting, so I spent some time touring the island. And as the days went on, I came to realize the vast majority of the inhabitants of the island, they didn't have an ounce of fat on them. They were slim, they were healthy, they were full of energy. Every dinner, I noticed they would eat their plate of food, but then never eat again for the rest of the day. No second portions, no desserts, no snacks, even with plates of cakes and fried food and candy bars available. In America, we love our food. We keep eating and eating, even after dinner. I wondered how they had the willpower to avoid eating this food. So 2 weeks passed. I phoned Dr. Sterling's wife and told her I was driving over. I found the modest home, and I parked in front of the house, and I stepped out. But before I could even make it out to the front door, a man walked out, and he asked me who I was. I told him about Arthur Fay and the oil he prescribed him, that I was just looking for help. He stopped, looked at me for about 10 seconds, and then he invited me in, and he introduced himself as Dr. Sterling. I must say he looked much younger than I imagined a 100-year-old would look. And when I sat down with Dr. Sterling, he sounded extremely intelligent and asked me about myself and why I was so desperate to speak to him. I told him about Ashley's health problems and what the doctors had said. She had tried everything to keep the weight off, but nothing seems to work, I told him. My eyes filled with tears, and then I broke down. I said, I am so scared we're gonna lose her, and I'm not sure if I can go on if we do, so please, Dr. Sterling, tell me what you've discovered. Dr. Sterling's face looked serious. He seemed hesitant at first, but he could see I was in so much pain and that I had almost given up hope. He then told me about what he found through his extensive research into the real cause of our modern obesity crisis. He took a deep breath, and he told me something that chilled me to the bone, a shocking secret that he'd been forced to keep to himself for years. You see, when fat cells grow, they release a hormone called leptin that controls our hunger and how full we feel. And when leptin levels are low, we feel hungry and crave calories. When leptin levels are high, we feel full and satisfied. It sounds simple enough, but problems arise when something called leptin resistance develops. With leptin resistance, your body resists the leptin signals coming from the brain. It never gets the message that you're full. Instead, you feel hungrier and hungrier. Leptin resistance causes overeating and therefore more fat, not the other way around. So if your overeating was simply a symptom of leptin resistance, what was the cause? I had asked this to Dr. Sterling. EDC, he said, EDC. He explained that EDC is a compound known as endocrine disrupting chemical. BPA is just one example of EDC, and is found all over the world in cans of food, plastic, sports drinks, and more. Scientists are only just beginning to understand why man-made chemicals like BPA are so harmful. Once you come into contact with them, they enter your bloodstream and they disrupt your delicate bodily functions. So what does that have to do with belly fat, I asked. Patience, Dr. Sterling replied, before he continued. Here's the connection. A team at the Department of Neuroscience in Ontario, Canada, less than 2 years ago, found that by giving mice low doses of BPA, far lower than deemed safe by the US Food and Drug Administration, they became resistant to leptin. Their food intake was never suppressed, and they quickly put on weight. Of course, Dr. Sterling added, BPA is only one of many endocrine disrupting chemicals in our environment. TBT is another kind that comes in paint, pesticides, and vinyl products. PFOA is another endocrine disruptor found in Teflon cookware that soaks into your food as you cook it. In fact, recently, the American Medical Association, the National Institutes of Health, and the White House Task Force on Childhood Obesity declared endocrine disrupting chemicals an immediate danger to Americans' waistlines. Even Dr. Oz, he continued, has linked endocrine disrupting chemicals to leptin resistance. We now know it's not because of your diet or how much exercise you do, nor your age, nor your genetics or metabolism. Your food cravings have been scientifically unstoppable because of the invisible EDCs swimming in your bloodstream right now, causing havoc in every cell on your body. They are in the air we breathe, our fruits, our meals, our cereals, and they're even in our tap water. In fact, the USA has one of the highest levels of EDCs in tap water in the world, with over 76 different EDCs detected. That is scary! I asked Dr. Sterling, but how can you explain that the level of EDCs in Malaysia is among the highest in the world, but they actually have one of the lowest levels of overweight people, particularly on Pancor Island? They have specific traditional plant and herbal ingredients in their diet, Dr. Sterling answered. Malaysian people didn't seem to be affected by these environmental toxins like everyone else did. Although they ate a diet of mainly fish, they always added a traditional mix of local herbs and spices to their foods, a recipe passed down through generations of the islanders. And this was somehow detoxifying and protecting them from the effects of man-made chemicals. Then, Dr. Sterling revealed to me that the 3 biggest and closely guarded lies of the weight loss industry, a giant and deliberate fraud that makes billions every year, not by helping you lose weight, but by actively making you fatter. As he explained, The moment you feel your belly get a little squishy and your hips getting a bit wobblier, you're encouraged to stop eating so much food. They recommend that you stop eating carbohydrates and restrict your calories. Does that sound familiar? But the big problem here is that from this moment on, your waist size and health are destined to only get worse. After all, when was the last time you went on a diet and lost some weight and the weight stayed off forever? It's never happened, right? This is the biggest weight loss lie. Dieting does not help you lose weight. The huge study carried out by researchers at the University of Helsinki of thousands of men and women found that the common practice of irregular eating and dieting actually caused weight gain. Why? Well, when you diet, your body thinks you're starving and protects itself by holding on to the weight. And the more you diet, the more you train your body to hold on to more weight. In fact, over 66% of people who diet end up putting on more weight within months of starting. Why? Because by dieting, not only are you training your body to hold on to fat, but the root cause of our weight gain has not been addressed. You still crave food. Dieting has other consequences too. Dieting more than once is proven to increase the risk of heart disease, osteoporosis, loss of strength, thinning hair. To really lose weight and keep it off for life, you have to go after the root cause, leptin resistance, not just the symptoms, and live as a slave to your overweight body. That's why diet shakes and exercise plans are such a cash cow for the weight loss industry. You become trapped in the leptin resistance cycle, weight loss. It made complete sense. That's exactly what Ashley had been doing for years. And according to a recent survey, the average American will spend over $111,500 over their lifetime in their attempt to lose weight. Next, Dr. Sterling revealed weight loss lie number 2. Exercise helps you lose weight. This one shocked me. He said that when you exercise, inflammation occurs in your body, and inflammation increases your body's production of the stress hormone cortisol. And guess what? Cortisol tells your body to hold on to the fat. Yes, you can actually gain weight from exercising too much. You're compounding inflammation. As well, a 2009 study found that people who exercised actually increased their food intake. There is no doubt that exercise is healthy, but as a weight loss method, it is not a long-term solution. It only treats the symptom of your leptin resistance, your belly fat, rather than addressing the root cause of your hunger. And with that, Dr. Sterling revealed weight loss lie number 3. Slow metabolism causes weight gain. Believe it or not, overweight people actually have a higher metabolism. As someone gains more weight from storing more fat, the body needs to support that excess mass to carry it around. Imagine you had to live with a 45-pound weight tied around your waist. Over time, you would build up extra muscle, especially in your legs, to help you manage it. More muscle equals a higher metabolic rate. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but eventually I realized that Dr. Sterling was absolutely right. So if you thought that your lack of exercise caused your weight gain, if you thought that you didn't diet enough or have a slow metabolism, think again. They had no factor in why you were overweight today. They are not the cause of leptin resistance. Hearing Dr. Sterling's scientific explanations made me very excited, so I couldn't help but ask him about the mysterious oil he gave Arthur. Yes, I remember that, Dr. Sterling said. I created the oil in my lab by synthesizing several unique herbs, spices, and oils from plants that grow on this island. I found it to be effective in detoxifying most fat-causing ADCs and thus reversing leptin resistance, but ultimately, this blend does not keep the fat off forever. I then realized Dr. Sterling never finished his research. I'm too old now to complete the research alone, he said, but I can assure you of one thing. If you could find the missing natural ingredients, we'd have a formula so powerful that it would not only detoxify these harmful fat-causing toxins from the body, but also make you immune to them, so you'll never suffer from leptin resistance that eventually leads to obesity. If you're willing to put in the work, I promise I will do the rest. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. He was willing to help me. I told him all about my wife's condition and her suicidal thoughts, and that I had no one else to turn to. If you know anything that can help her, please help tell me, I pleaded with him. Dr. Sterling smiled, he patted me on the shoulder, and he told me to wait where I was. And a few minutes later, he returned with a notepad and a pencil and began to scribble down what looked like a recipe, complete with a list of strange plants and herbs. What's this? I asked him, looking down at the list. It's the secret you've been searching for, he said, with a glint in his eye. Our health is all down to these ingredients, he continued. I hugged Dr. Sterling, and I thanked him with tears in my eyes. A few days later, I flew back to the States. And on the way home, all I could think about was taking Dr. Sterling's ancient recipe and improving it with recent science and technology. If I could do that, I would create a formula even more powerful than Sterling's and give Ashley a real shot at losing all her stubborn fat. The next day after I got back home, I took Ashley to Arthur's Cafe, and I told him about my trip, including Dr. Sterling's story and theories and incomplete solution for obesity. Arthur was thrilled and immediately said that we must use the help of his brother-in-law, Professor Pierre Dubois. Professor Dubois, who had a PhD in chemistry, worked as a top food scientist and professor at the Sorbonne University of France. Professor Dubois was one of those rare people who just exuded charisma and warmth and intelligence. His daughter, just like my Ashley, struggled with weight loss and was sick and tired of all the failed diets and the health risks. I contacted Professor Dubois and I told him about my meeting with Dr. Sterling. We talked about EDCs and leptin resistance and Dr. Sterling's effective yet incomplete oil recipe. I asked him whether I could show it to him. We scheduled another video call that very evening. I can still remember how surprised and thrilled Professor Dubois was by this research. You see, he said, we're all affected by endocrine disrupting chemicals at different rates based on our body type. That's why some people are hungrier and have a higher BMI than others, and why you are about 40 pounds overweight, but your wife is far more. In fact, women are affected by EDC-induced leptin resistance worse than men. The human body has not evolved to synthesize its own detoxifying nutrients to clear out this new threat, EDCs, he said. EDCs have only been around for the past 70 years or so. So the only way to do this is with the incredible plants that you've discovered. I'd love to help, he said. Professor Dubois said that by working together, we could find the missing ingredients and develop the perfect EDC detoxifying weight loss formula. So even though the next day Professor Dubois had to fly to Paris, we worked together through video calls. 4 weeks later, after researching dozens of different formulas, Professor Dubois sent over 130 formulas to Dr. Sterling, who after a couple of months picked what he called the most potent of all blends. Dr. Sterling did that by testing each blend, mixing and matching different herbs, oils, and powders to analyze and verify which ones work together perfectly. Inside his laboratory on Pancor Island, he made sure that he had the right quantities and the most effective combination to eliminate EDCs. And 17 days later, there was a match. Our small team had finally created an all-powerful 100% natural EDC detoxifying formula. Dr. Sterling sent it to us. Once I got my hands on it with the help of Professor Dubois, we searched and found the purest ingredients to make it. We talked to local growers worldwide, making sure our formula contained only fresh plants and spices and herbs. I was very surprised at what I found in Dr. Sterling's recipe. There was Gymnema sylvestre, a woody climbing plant that's native to the tropical forests. It had been used by medicine men for thousands of years because of its amazing antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. But most importantly, a 2014 study published by the Global Health Committee assessed that the effectiveness of Gymnema sylvestre in detoxifying the body of foreign toxins. Why is this important? Well, remember, those foreign microplastic particles that release EDCs, causing massive weight gain, scientists in Norway discovered that large spikes of EDC are excreted with every one of these foreign microplastic particle invasions. Gymnema sylvestre has been proven to target and destroy EDCs and help your body become immune to EDC exposure. The next ingredient was licorice. Many studies show that licorice, Glycyrrhiza glabra, root extract exhibits antioxidative, chemoprotective, and detoxifying properties. One experiment on mice clearly showed that licorice had detoxified and lowered EDCs to almost zero. Next on Dr. Sterling's ingredient list was banaba. Banaba is a tree native to tropical Southeast Asia. Its leaves have been used to treat diabetes for centuries. In addition to their anti-diabetic properties, banaba leaves offer health benefits, such as antioxidant, cholesterol-lowering, and anti-obesity effects. Although it's expensive, the benefits are huge. A study published by the European Medical Council shows that banaba massively reduces EDCs in the bloodstream as well. Can you imagine the results of combining Gymnema sylvestre and banaba? But that's not all. Next on the list was guggle gum resin that the University of Oxford found reverses damage from EDCs too. Along with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, guggle has also been used to promote weight loss, treat hypothyroidism, and manage cholesterol and blood sugar levels. One study also found it improved skin complexion, leaving users with a youthful, radiant glow and reduced acne. The next ingredient was white mulberry, noticeable for its long leaves, flowers, and small berries that Korean scientists have found, yes, you guessed it, reduced EDC levels in the body. It's even been reported in studies to block cancer cell growth and lower blood sugar and cholesterol levels, and it was recently featured on Dr. Oz as a natural diabetes remedy. Next on the list was cinnamon bark extract, a versatile spice that has antiviral and antibacterial properties. It detoxifies and significantly lowers EDC levels in the body. It can also help lower blood sugar levels and reduce heart disease risk factors and inflammation. The final ingredient in Dr. Sterling's original recipe was yarrow, used by ancient Greeks as a powerful wound healer and antioxidant that can rapidly destroy fat-causing EDCs. It's also fantastic for digestive issues and reduced bloating. It has even been shown to alleviate depression and anxiety. Studies show that taking yarrow daily resulted in up to 10 pounds of weight loss in just 2 weeks and even helped with brain disorders such as Alzheimer's. Professor Dubois and my team suggested a few more safe natural ingredients that would work in synergy for an even more potent boost. The first one was Modica quantia, also known as bitter melon. Nothing like normal melon, Modica quantia contains powerful antioxidant compounds that can help protect your cells against damage. One study from the Institute of Medical Health in Australia found that one daily dose of bitter melon can help reduce blood sugar, decrease cholesterol levels, and decreases EDCs and fights obesity. The second element recommended by Professor Dubois was Benidia, a mineral named for the North Goddess of Beauty, Veneris. Researchers from the Geneva Institute of Medicine in Switzerland found that just 0.1 milligram per day could flush out dangerous cholesterol and support a healthy heart and blood sugar levels. That's why Professor Dubois decided to add 0.2 milligrams of vanadium. He doubled the dose for maximum effect. And lastly, Professor Dubois added alpha lipoic acid, a formidable antioxidant recommended by Dr. Yin from Japan. Dr. Yin told the professor about a little-known study from Italy that found alpha lipoic acid eliminates deadly EDCs. It also reduces bad cholesterol by an average of 22% and helps treat diabetes. Best of all, it also rejuvenates and repairs old cells. It's pretty amazing, right? Vitamin C, E, magnesium, and zinc were also added as catalysts. Overall, Professor Dubois and the team spent almost a full year testing, analyzing, and reformulating our EDC-busting magical superfoods. Now let's get back to my story. 2 days later, Professor Dubois told me, "Don't get too excited, Ben, because Big Pharma will never allow us to make this solution public. They will act swiftly, and they will stop it. They'll try to get all these ingredients banned, claiming they're dangerous or homeopathic nonsense, the same way they banned 129 other plants in the history of humanity that worked for other diseases." And he showed me a list on his phone. I'd never seen this list before. And it made sense why Big Pharma would never allow this. For the first time in years, I understood what was happening, and I hoped that I could save the lives of those suffering. I was willing to take the risk. I couldn't stand there with my arms crossed, waiting for millions of Americans to have their health deteriorate to the point where they are morbidly obese, sick, and alone. I was tired of waiting and seeing everything around me crumbling to pieces. But then, Professor Dubois warned me. The formula will be 100% effective only when you use all the ingredients combined in exact specific ratios. He showed me a document with all the calculations he made to finally achieve these optimal ratios between the ingredients. Without adequate preparation, he emphasized the whole ritual would be worthless. He also warned me about counterfeit and cheap imitations of these ingredients. He tested so-called natural herbal extracts, vitamins and minerals, and found many weren't natural at all. They had ingredients derived from chemicals, not natural sources. In other words, the detoxifying herbal powder you buy at the health food store will surely not deliver the same amazing results that authentic herbal powder will. But Dr. Sterling was the only one who knew the exact ratios. Dr. Sterling knew the order of the ingredients, the best type and variety of each plant, how to source for purity, how many weeks it took to extract them from plants. And most importantly, he had done this before with the EDC detoxifying oil extract that helped Arthur lose all that extra weight so fast. But seeing how committed and desperate I was, Dr. Sterling told me he had my back. Professor Dubois said he wouldn't abandon me either. Nothing could stop us now. We had the formula, the medical knowledge, and Dr. Sterling's lab all to ourselves. We searched the whole world through Professor Dubois' scientific connections and worked with certified producers and verified suppliers, making sure that we only use top quality, pure ingredients sourced from local growers who let plants naturally reach their full maturity without herbicides. In the end, we had to adjust the ratios with incredible precision. The result: we would have enough of a unique natural mixture of ingredients for just over 100 people for a week or so. After putting on the last touches, Dr. Sterling sent me a bottle with the mixture in powder form. I started with 1 tablespoon every morning with a big glass of water. It's a piece of cake. Then something miraculous happened. The morning after, I felt thinner and younger and lighter and more alive than I'd ever felt. I'd lost 2 pounds. Over the weeks that followed, I lost another 37 pounds of ugly fat from my belly, face, arms, and back, revealing my toned abs for the first time in 20 years. My skin began to glow. My blood glucose levels plummeted, reducing my need for insulin injections that I'd been taking for years. My cholesterol level fell. My blood pressure level stabilized, meaning I no longer needed my meds. I was sleeping soundly and waking up each morning bright-eyed and full of energy. I felt happier than I had in years, decades even, and my confidence and self-esteem returned. I couldn't believe it. It was like I was being reborn, regenerated even. That very night, Ashley took her very first capsule just before bed. In just 3 days, the results, they were beyond spectacular. She had higher energy levels and a better mood, and she felt an increased zest for life. And by the end of the first week, she'd lost over 10 pounds. She hadn't made a single change to her lifestyle. She didn't do any exercise and didn't change her diet. She still ate all the delicious foods like apple pies and hamburgers and pizza and ice cream cookies that she loved so much. How was this possible? Maybe it was a placebo effect, I thought. I assumed she was just going to regain the lost weight just as quickly. Yet by the end of the second week, she dropped another 7 pounds. Every day she woke up, another 1 to 2 pounds had gone. And in a matter of weeks, she'd gone on to lose another incredible 62 pounds of stubborn fat from her face, her belly, her arms, her hips, and her thighs. The Ashley that I knew and loved, she was back. Every morning she told me how refreshed she felt. The aches and the pains were disappearing and she felt alert and alive. And her face, it looked younger and more radiant than it had in at least a decade. The excess belly and arms and legs and hip fat that had plagued her for so long was all gone. Her body looked like it did when she was in her 20s and people noticed. She was showered with compliments from friends and family. And instead of wanting to hide away from the world, she felt confident to show off her new slim and toned body. And not only did Ashley love the way she looked now, but she loved how I looked too, because I used the formula on myself. I dropped 8 inches from my waist, and I saw my abs again for the first time in years, while still enjoying my favorite foods and drinks. And it revitalized our lives and brought that spark back to our marriage. And at Ashley's next checkup, the doctor was astonished at her transformation. In fact, he barely recognized her. He said, "You look amazing. You've lost over 70 pounds since we last met." That's about 7 dress sizes. But what's even better is you're in perfect health. Now your blood pressure and cholesterol levels are like those of a 20-year-old, and astonishingly, your resting heart rate is only 55. That's similar to a professional athlete's, he said. We were absolutely thrilled and relieved to hear this wonderful news, and after so many years of despair, we both felt our lives were beginning again. I was convinced that this was a miracle. God had blessed us by revealing the most amazing weight loss formula ever, and I wanted to share it with the world, but I wanted proof of it working for others the same way it had worked for Ashley and me. Seeing our progress, I posted an announcement on various forums and support groups for overweight people, asking them to discreetly test out our pure organic formula. We were lucky enough to gather 117 volunteers. They each received the powder and a daily report form to follow their progress. I was prepared to wait at least 2 weeks for the initial reports to come back, but what happened exceeded even our wildest dreams. When we went to collect the final reports from other subjects, the results were astounding. Within just a few weeks, all 117 volunteers reported dramatic drops in their hunger and cravings, and in turn their weight. The average weight loss was 53 pounds, energy levels soared, dangerous visceral fat around organs vanished, brain fog lifted, aches and pains subsided, stress levels dropped, long gone sex drives returned and rocketed. They had healthy hearts, arteries, and blood pressure. Many reported seeing their abs for the very first time. 97% of participants went on to lose over 59 pounds of fat. The other 3% lost over 40 pounds, but were no less overjoyed at the weight loss and health benefits they'd achieved. Each volunteer reported feeling younger and more alert, more alive than they'd felt in the past 30 years. To think all they had to do was use a pain-free, natural mixture. It was a discovery of mind-blowing potential, and I literally jumped with joy at the thought of how many people I could help. After seeing all the results and messages, it was clear we couldn't keep this life-saving treatment all to ourselves, especially since everyone in the study kept asking us for more of our magic mix for them and their close friends and family members. We obviously couldn't ignore the many cries for help. We needed to make our discovery accessible to as many people as possible. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Here were completely natural ingredients that had been scientifically proven to target the root cause of belly fat. Yet not a single doctor or the weight loss industry had ever told my wife anything about them. But we came across a big problem. It took me days to source all the ingredients from all over the world, thousands of dollars to buy them, and weeks to extract the potent seeds and leaves one by one. Then I had to dry them out, grind them down, and measure them into the correct ratio. And by the time I was finished, I felt exhausted and barely had enough of the mixture to last a few days. I understand now why Dr. Sterling was so protective of his plant mixture and why he kept it under lock and key. I needed a plan B. In short, to produce the formula ourselves in greater quantities, we needed a much better plan, so Professor Dubois suggested we buy the ingredients in bulk. We searched the whole world through our scientific connections and worked with certified producers and verified suppliers, making sure that for our recipe, we only use top quality ingredients, pure ingredients sourced from local growers that let plants naturally reach their full maturity without the use of herbicides. They were prepared the right way to keep their essential properties and potency intact. And they were 100% safe, processed under strict sterile standards with regularly disinfected equipment. We secretly worked day and night with a large, modern, discreet manufacturing facility in the US that could take care of everything. This way, we could produce this potent mixture in the quantity we wanted in tiny, easy-to-swallow capsules. We tested until dawn, making sure we got the right quantities and the most effective combination of ingredients. And in the end, there it was. My hand shook as I held the final weight loss formula that would detoxify EDC, reverse leptin resistance, and accelerate fat burn to save the lives of thousands of people worldwide. If this tiny natural pill was the most effective treatment for detoxifying EDC from the body while enhancing rapid fat loss, it would be a miracle. We named our supplement Leanotox, the only 100% natural blend that detoxifies EDC, reverses leptin resistance, and enhances rapid weight loss while balancing blood sugar levels and fighting inflammation. Leanotox contains the purest, highest quality ingredients with the exact quantities based on the most potent EDC detoxifying weight loss formula. Every single natural pill is manufactured in the US in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Leanotox capsules are non-GMO and safe. They do not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit-forming. At the same time, this doesn't mean that you'll have to take the capsules every day for the rest of your life. On the contrary, just a couple of bottles, or more depending on the EDC levels in your body, can help your body create its natural defense mechanisms. As a result, your body can detoxify EDCs completely and become immune to these environmental toxins while enhancing rapid fat loss and keeping it off long after you finish taking it. 369,700 people, and counting, have already lost an average of 53 pounds and restored their health with Leanotox.
I used to weigh myself multiple times a day and I would feel ashamed when I had gained weight. But I'm so glad I gave your solution a go. I have lost over 49 pounds and I'm so proud of myself.
Your ritual has helped me to lose 7 pounds off my belly, 5 pounds off my hips, and my skin is so much clearer. I'm so thrilled and excited, and this is all thanks to Leanotox.
All you have to do to experience the same amazing improvements in appearance, weight, and energy levels is to start using this convenient and easily absorbable supplement as soon as possible. The solution is much simpler than you think, and you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. Now, knowing all of this, it's obvious why Leanotox is better than every other option and is the most powerful EDC detoxifying weight loss formula. Nothing else out there has been proven to work long term. Instead, Leanotox is a completely natural and effective way to detoxify EDCs, reverse leptin resistance, and enhance rapid weight loss while balancing blood sugar levels and fighting inflammation. You may ask, this all sounds nice, but aren't there any other similar products that offer the same amazing benefits? Well, that is what I would ask as well if I were you, and this is a question everyone should ask. You can go directly on Amazon right now. I am absolutely sure there's no other product on the market that even resembles the complexity of the formula I've put together. So I beg you, stop wasting your hard-earned money and time with such ineffective products. Now, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, ask yourself, how much is it worth hearing your friends gasp jealously at the amazing changes you've made to your physique in such a short time, or seeing your husband or wife look at you with lust, complimenting you, and wanting you in your body again? And doing this all without dieting or cardio or skipping a meal? Close your eyes and imagine that for a second. Imagine calmly walking into your favorite retail store and spending hours inside the dressing room. Every outfit you try wraps around your tight, toned body so perfectly, you couldn't help but buy them all. Imagine seeing the happiness and pride in your kids' and grandkids' eyes as you play with them for hours on end with no discomfort and endless energy surging through every cell in your body. Really let yourself feel what that would be like. Doesn't it take your breath away? And then tell me, how much would it be worth to never deprive yourself of your favorite foods, to never burden your family with worries about your health, to feel how much more fun life can be and what you've been missing out on for so long. What would you give for all of this right now? Just take a second. Imagine how much that outcome would be worth. $5,000, $2,000, $997. Well, let me tell you, for me, this isn't about money. I will never, ever forget the humiliation that Ashley felt when people made fun of her size, and I never want anyone to feel as humiliated or angry or as helpless as I did. That's why I'll never ask for $597 or $397, or even half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep the site running for as long as I can, even though, given my costs, I'll soon have to charge $99 for one bottle of Leanotox. Still, one bottle surely costs a lot less than a visit to the doctor. But don't worry, for now you can get a 30-day supply of Leanotox for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of just $59. And that's not all. If you order a 3 or a 6-month package, we'll give you an even bigger discount. And here's why. Both Professor Dubois and I have run so many tests to optimize the length of the treatment period. That's why we recommend you take this supplement for at least 90 days, just to make 100% sure there's not a single trace of EDCs and other environmental toxins in your body for the rest of your life. All you have to do to achieve the same dramatic improvements in your health, energy and skin and hair appearance, and weight loss and vitality is to start using Leanotox as soon as possible. Remember, Leanotox is the only supplement that detoxifies EDC, reverses leptin resistance, and enhances rapid weight loss while balancing blood sugar levels and fighting inflammation. If you're ready to give up the burden of being overweight and you're ready to bring the excitement, energy, vigor, and happiness back into your life, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, you need to take action now. Or if you want to flush out even more fat and toxins from your body and lose those stubborn extra pounds and enjoy a flat belly, high energy levels, and toned glowing skin, 6 bottles of Leanotox are all you need. 6 bottles of Leanotox promote EDC elimination so optimal that it's like Teflon for fat. That just slides away. Make no mistake, every extra bottle of Leanotox will bring you more and more benefits. Of course, this doesn't happen overnight, and anyone who says you'll get permanent results in just a few days is lying. That's why we recommend you invest in more bottles today. Leanotox is available on this page only. You can't find it anywhere else. We decided not to use any resellers so you can get it at the best possible price directly from us. We're not on any other sites like Amazon or eBay or Walmart, so please, don't fall for any cheap copycats that might be out there. But be warned, demand is looking like it could start to outpace supply. The high-quality ingredients, they're not easy to source either. So stock could run out with very little notice. And when it does, it could be 6 months or even longer before we're able to secure more. I would hate for that to happen to you, because once you finally start to shed that unwanted body fat and reveal the toned figure that lies underneath, the last thing you want to see when you come back to this site is an out-of-stock message. I promise, it's not a risk worth taking. That's why 94% of customers order this 6-bottle package so they can start shedding unwanted fat right away and keep it off forever. Plus, when you get the 3 or 6 bottle package, you'll also receive 2 exclusive free bonuses. First off, you get the Candida Cleanser. Say goodbye to oral, vaginal, male yeast infections, joint pain, depression, and digestive problems using a unique 5-step holistic system to cure Candida overgrowth and restore perfect gut health. The Candida Cleanser system also includes a unique protocol to eliminate all yeast infection-related symptoms in as little as 12 hours. You also get the Stress-Free Life System. This comprehensive step-by-step 8-part video course will help lower your cortisol levels, boost your immune system, and promote improved health and well-being by eradicating stress from your life and regaining your inner peace. It includes a unique 10-minute whole-body relaxation stretch, a one-of-a-kind anti-stress plan, tips on how to identify toxic people in your life, stress reduction tips from the rich and famous, and much more. Take a look below. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit or debit card. Immediately after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottles of Leanotox will be shipped right to your doorstep. If you order the 3-bottle or 6-bottle package, which we recommend as we estimate we could run out of stock soon, you'll also take advantage of a huge discount. Plus, remember that missing 1 day of Leanotox can compromise a full month of progress. So if I were to give you just one piece of advice, this would be, don't risk running out of Leanotox. Just click below to select your package. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. Keep in mind that Leanotox can be found only on this page, and it is not available for purchase anywhere else. This is your only chance to grab this exclusive formula. Listen, by 2026, it's estimated that the weight loss product market could reach $70 billion in value. No wonder big pharma companies have been mercilessly hunting down anyone who dares to make public a natural, easy alternative solution to their overpriced, useless pills that don't even address the root cause. Please, make your choice today while this site is still up. If you're skeptical, I totally understand. You've spent a lot of money, went through so much pain, and still nothing worked. Now, I am so confident that Leanotox works, I am going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience dramatic improvements, or you're not satisfied for any reason whatsoever, we will issue a full refund, no questions asked. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days of your purchase. It doesn't matter if you've used up the entire bottle, we will still give you your money back. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if Leanotox is right for you. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time payment. Choose the package you want below. You have 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1, stop following this presentation, ignore all the scientific studies we presented, and leave this page. You keep on dieting and exercising and perhaps losing a bit of weight just to regain the lost pounds shortly after. You'll probably never break free from the cycle of yo-yo, dieting, and the endless frustration. You'll keep spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on useless, expensive products. It's not going to be pleasant. Or option 2, risk nothing at all today. Grab Leanotox right now, and you'll be surprised at how good it feels to have more energy and superb overall health and appearance, and how easy it is to lose weight by detoxifying EDC and reversing leptin resistance. So just click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Hey, still here. Great! I actually wanted to take a second to answer some of the most common questions I get about Leanotox because I want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with your decision. So number 1 is Leanotox right for me, and how does it work? I get this question a lot, and the answer is always the same. Do you have stored body fat that you have tried to get rid of in the past but nothing's worked? Because if that's you, then Leanotox is absolutely the right choice. As we talked about earlier, the real problem with not being able to lose body fat is that endocrine disrupting chemicals are forcing your brain to ignore the hunger hormone leptin, so you're not feeling full when you're supposed to. Leanotox will help you with that. Leanotox is the only product to tackle the root cause of modern toxic EDC pollution with a unique blend of powerful natural antioxidants. Unlike fad diets and insane exercise plans, Leanotox gets to the root cause of your weight loss problem rather than just treating the symptoms. What do the Leanotox capsules contain? Each capsule contains a unique formulation of natural plants, herbs, and spices that help your system detoxify from the years of toxic chemical exposure that has wreaked havoc on your body. Is Leanotox safe? Leanotox has been taken by hundreds of thousands of people with no reported side effects. The only side effect is having to spend money on new, tight-fitting, sexy clothing or cancel your gym membership. And Leanotox is a lot safer than starvation diets or hours of high-intensity cardio at the gym because you are restoring your body's natural leptin and hunger response. Addressing leptin resistance is the single most important thing you can do right now for long-lasting results. Now and into old age, Leanotox is safer than your daily multivitamin. It contains natural ingredients, and they're extremely high quality and manufactured in an FDA-inspected state-of-the-art facility using the latest equipment. On top of that, it's put through additional third-party inspections and quality control so you can rest assured that Leanotox is safe. And as always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, I advise you to show a bottle of this to your doctor before you take it, just to be safe. When should I take Leanotox for best results? Take 1 capsule with a big glass of water in the afternoon for additional energy and weight loss support. Leanotox is going to work with your body to naturally adjust you back into a healthy rhythm, and it's going to leave you energized, well-rested, and enjoying life again. What if it doesn't work for me? Look, I'm confident that Leanotox will give you the powerful support you need to target leptin resistance. But I also know that no 2 people's bodies work in exactly the same way, because a small number of people might find it doesn't give them all the benefits they were looking for, Every single bottle of Leanotox comes with my personal 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee if for any reason you are unsatisfied with your results. You can just return whatever you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. What if I lose weight too fast? You know, that actually is a really interesting question, and I do get asked it sometimes. We always advise you to lose weight at a healthy, steady pace. The results that we've highlighted today are incredible, and if you do lose weight too fast, I would suggest taking Leanotox every second day rather than every day. And always consult with your doctor. Now, I know it can be exciting to see results that you've been waiting so long for. As it starts to happen, you may want to push yourself harder, but it's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle in addition to taking Leanotox. That way, you're going to get the best long-term results. How long will this supplement be available to the public? Well, I'm not sure. But history has shown that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to remove something that threatens its very existence. Wouldn't you spend $1 million in lawyer costs to protect the billions per year that you'd make on prescriptions? Get yours right away. All you have to do today is click below, fill in your payment details on our secure order form, and submit your order. I'm waiting to hear your success story very soon. And now for the fun part. Choose one of your money-saving packages below and enter your details on our 256-bit secure order page. Order 3 bottles and you'll also get the bonus ebooks, and order 6 bottles and you'll get the free bonuses plus free shipping. And don't forget, all orders are covered by our 60-day, 100% full money-back guarantee. So there's no risk to you at all. But I urge you to act fast. Demand is looking like it could start to outpace supply, and the high-quality ingredients are not easy to source. This reality means costs could shoot up at a moment's notice, or stock could run dry overnight. I would hate for that to happen to you. So just go ahead and click a button below, complete the checkout,